Hello, 1 John 2:17 today. So go ahead and translate that if you can. And here's my translation. And the world is passing away, and the desire of it. But the one who does the will of God remains forever. So, of course, that was 2,000 years ago, and it's still passing away. But we do believe as Christians that eventually Christ will return, and the reset button on true humanity will be reset, and that the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and the pride of life, that the things that the previous verses talked about, those will eventually pass away because those who don't conform to God's kingdom will be gone, and those who do will be fully empowered not to have those lusts and those desires. So they're passing away. They are part of the transitory nature of the current situation. Okay, more detail on the translation. And the world is passing away and its desire. Okay, not a lot to see here. Keep moving. But the one who does, that we've seen this construction quite a bit here in chapter 2. It's the word the with an ing word, a participle, the doing one, the one who does, something like that. The one who does the will, thelma, the will, thelema, the one who does the will of God remains unto the age. Literally, this is into the age, but it's an idiom in Greek that means forever. And then there's another expression, into the ages of the ages, that means forever and ever. That's the way it's usually translated. But unto the age, I'm not sure whether any Greeks stopped and thought, what does this expression mean? I'm sure someone does. Every once in a while, I'll do that with an English expression where, I've used it a long time, and then suddenly it'll occur to me, that's really an odd expression, a wild goose chase. What does that mean? I know what it means because I can use it correctly. And there's an insight there. I had an English teacher in the 9th grade who actually was mistaken from a philosophical standpoint. I remember her distinctly saying that if you can't define a word, you don't know it. That's wrong. The meaning of a word is not in some Platonic definition that got downloaded into the world. The meaning of words is in how they're used. And if you can use a word correctly, then you know the word. Anyway, little philosophical side note there. So into the age basically translates into English as forever. Grammar. Not a lot of grammar here. Ho cosmos, hey epithemia. These are the subjects. The world is passing away and its desire is passing away. These are a kind of a compound subject, although they don't both appear before the verb, but this is the verb that goes with them. This is the verb that goes with them. These are both nominative, which tells me the subject. This is nominative and masculine, singular, and this is nominative and feminine, singular. So omicrons are can be an indication of masculine or neuter. And then etas and alphas can be an indication of feminines. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, these endings don't look exactly alike. I'm sorry, the Greek committee didn't quite get their act completely together. But these agree with each other. These are both feminine, they're both nominative, and they're both singular, even though they look differently. Similarly, these are both masculine, they're both nominative, they're both singular, even though they don't look exactly the same. The world. And this verb is present tense. It's parago. So you can see parag is the stem and parag is here. Nothing's been done to it. And so it's present tense. The tie ending, it's wearing a tie. My, sai, tie. Luo, my, lue, luet, tie. It's a third person singular ending. And the song that I just sang tends to be either middle or passive. I went with passive here. This is a kind of a peculiar word that translates, in the active, it translates something like to lead away. or to pass away. And in the passive, it means something like to be led away or to be passing away. It's kind of a weird, in English, be passing away isn't exactly passive, I don't think. To pass away, to be passed away. But we get what it's saying here. It's indicative because it has a short connecting vowel. But basically the idea is the world is passing away and its desire. Okay, we get what it's saying. But the one who does the will of God remains forever. What is this construction again? What kind of a word is this? It's a participle. It's an ing word. All by itself, I would translate this word as doing. It can also mean making. It has a the on it, though. Des, a procrastinator, or technically we call it a post-positive. We pull it out first. But the doing one, the one doing. We have to play with it. We have to get used to these. 1 John 2 is really working us on this construction. The doing one, the doing man, the man who does, the one who does. I'm going to go with the one who does because it's not really saying only the men who do the will of the Father, will remain forever. That's not what it's saying. So the one who does is a fine translation. So it's a participle. It's adjectival because if a participle has the word the on it, it's adjectival. But there's no noun here. The word, like the word man, isn't there. The doing man or the doing person doesn't have so we call that substantive. The participle has to reach into itself and find the substance of a noun. It is a present active participle. The word is poieo. All the letters are there except the epsilon is crashed into the omega of the own participle ending. There's a police line. Step back. There's been a crash here. This is called a contract verb, or I like to call them crash verbs, although that's just me. That own ending is nominative masculine singular. Just memorize it. You're going to see it again, I'm sure, in 1 John. And so there you have the analysis. I've tried to stretch it out. Mene is a present active indicative third singular. Nice, easy. This is accusative masculine singular. The article never lies. This is neuter. Ma nouns, unlike my ma, are all neuter. The thelema, it's a ma noun. It's neuter. And there's the neuter article. The article never lies. Try to stretch it out, but that's it. So let's go ahead and see if you can pronounce these words. I'll pronounce them. Pause the video. Try. I'll pronounce them. Pause. Try. I'll pronounce them. Pause. Okay. Kai, ho, cosmos. Paragatai, kai, he, epithumia, autu. Ho, de, poion. Tone, thelema. Tu, theu. Mene, ace, tone, iona. How'd you do? So if I try to read it in a normal way, let's say I'm reading it in church, and I want to read it with its feeling. Let me try. Kai ho cosmos paragatai. Kai he epithumia autu. Ho de poion to thelema tu theu. Mene, ace tone iona. Okay, well, we'll be back, Lord willing, tomorrow with 1 John 2:18.